is it time to go home? Am I still living the dream? My name is Victoria Rose and I am in my 9th month of traveling around Europe and Turkey without a schedule, without it all being mapped out. I have let it unfold before me. So let's check out during this my 24th episode, am I still living the dream?
Hello, my name is Eva. I am the chef and the owner of Finca Alta Cocina, cooking holiday in Spain.
So there we had one of the reasons why I am still living the dream, because I have met the most amazing women as I've been traveling around the world, and guess what? I've met some pretty gorgeous men as well. And I love doing those interviews where I help those women in any of the locations I'm in to bring their business to your attention, to get noticed. So, am I still living the dream? I invite you during this episode to travel with me, to travel with Victoria Rose, to take the time to watch these episodes, especially if you are a woman who is over 60 or coming close to that and may or may not think that you are fabulous, because my mission is to show Australian women in particular, but this really does apply to any country, but to show Australian women in particular how they can travel overseas whilst living on a pension. So that has to be a good thing, right? But first of all, I have to do what I always do. Here I am traveling to so many countries, and what I've noticed is we all have heart. We all have heart. So many of us have children and we look after those children. Not all of us, but many of us do. Regardless of which country you're in, we love our children. We love our family, or not. But we do have the ability to love regardless of your race, your creed, your culture. We all have the ability to love, but the sad thing is that so many people do not operate from the heart. And if there's one thing I know for sure, the world needs more heart. Today I want to share with you 3 things around am I still living the dream. Let's look at number 1. So number 1 is 9 months of travel and not at all structured. So I started off, as a matter of fact, there was a huge hiccup to begin with. I started off in Italy for 2 weeks, then I went to Croatia for 2 months and came across the Croatian look, and then where did I go then? Oh yes, I think, crikey, after Croatia I think I went to Turkey for 3 months, and then I went back to Italy for 1 month, then I went to France for about 5 weeks, and then I went to Spain for a month, and now here I am in Albania. So am I still living the dream? Well, absolutely yes. But here's the thing. What is the dream? Unless you know what your dream is, how can you live it? You may be right now living the dream. Oh, thank you for the heart. You may right now be living the dream. But sadly, what I've noticed also is, regardless of the citizens of whatever country I'm in, Everyone has the inclination. It's not just Aussies, it's not just Poms. I'm after here in Albania, I'm going back to Croatia because I love Croatia to stay with an Aussie that I met, and then I'm going to the UK for 1 month. After that, who knows? But the thing that I want to say is that regardless, hello Jennifer Gale, how God, I was just thinking of you this morning. How amazing is that? So regardless of the country you're in, the tendency is to only look at those things about our lives that we feel aren't working well. And it's when you travel, and actually you don't need to travel to do this, guys, that's for sure. Just walk around the town or the city where you live now with new eyes and see what's really there. If only we could look at our lives and see what it is that we have that is good and be grateful for that. Because if you are not grateful for what you already have, doesn't matter what you get, you still will be not grateful, because it'll never be enough money, they'll never be big enough boobs, or did the whatever it is, am I wearing the latest dress, or whatever the actual complaint is. No, it's raining again. Well, we actually need rain. Oh, and guess what, Melbourne? What I've discovered is that the Melbourne weather is everywhere. Here we are in the middle of spring in Albania, and I was like this in Spain. It was freezing. So what if we just stopped and had a look at where we are, what we're doing, open our eyes to the opportunities that can be there. Oh, so true, Victoria. Oh, Gail, I've just got to pop you on the screen. Let's see if I can do that. So true, Victoria. We just need to wake up and look around. We do, Gail, and look around and truly see what it is that we actually already have in our lives and go, hallelujah. As I said, you don't need to travel to really appreciate what you have already. You can do that right now. What travel has done for me is to really look at what I did have when I lived in Melbourne. And when you've been living in the same place for a while, and when you've been doing the same things, somehow you might say, hola, my life is boring. There have been times on this journey where I would not have minded a bit of boring. Thank you, Gail. It's so wonderful to have your comment there. Thank you for joining me today. So that's the first thing. Have a look around where you already live and just look at the good. Sure, not everything is good. Perhaps you've just been diagnosed with cancer. I don't know what it is, but have a look around. You have a choice. I read today about some dear friends of mine, and their daughter has been fighting almost for all of her 18 years to live, and she has not survived past today. But oh my gosh, what a heroic journey she's been on, and it's just incredible to look around at our family and friends. You know, that's the second point. Really appreciate the people that you have in your lives now. Now, if you're in your life now, if you're thinking to yourself, yeah, right. If you have people in your life that you are calling friends and you are not appreciating them, then you have to ask yourself, why do I have these people in my life? And am I a good friend? Am I this needy person in desperation that doesn't matter who they are, I cannot be seen out and about on my own, or come traveling solo? Because when you travel solo, the thing is that who you are, your patterns, your behavior, absolutely smacks you in the face. There's no one else to blame or to say, oh, well, or to have a bit of a pity party with. You really get a real, well, yeah, smack in the face, I guess, sometimes by your very own hand. I can't believe I did that or said that. What do I really want? And my third point is around, am I still living the dream? I've totally got that wherever I go, I am there too. So I know I've made this point in one of my previous live streams. It is so important, and it is related to the second point that I made today. But wherever you go, you are too. And having a look at, hello, hi Keza, how you doing? And having a look at what life now, what the circumstances of life give you and how you respond to that. Your attitude, boy, is it shown up in sharp contrast. You're not surrounded by the familiar. Here you are out and about solo doing your thing. And boy, can it be challenging at times. And if you've been following my journey, you will know just how challenging it has been for me on occasion. But am I still living the dream? Absolutely. Absolutely. When will I return home? I intend to be home for Christmas. It would be nice to see my children and my friends, but will I stay? I just don't know. When I was in Spain, I met another person who was doing a similar thing, a Scottish guy, 52 years old, and he had been doing what I'm doing here in Albania, which is Workaway. Remember, I told you about Workaway before? Workaway.info, which is where you can travel to anywhere in the world and you give your time for accommodation and food. And it's a cultural exchange. Not always successful, but I do have some great tips to give you in my second broadcast on how to do Workaway better. It's certainly an absolute learning curve. So yes, I'm still living the dream, and I'm looking forward. Who would ever have believed that I would look forward to going back to Croatia? But it has turned out to be my favorite country, and it's been wonderful connecting with all those that I've met with. Even those 3 men that I slept with on my first night in Albania. Do you remember? The Albanian, the German, and the Italian, because I was in a mixed dorm. Boy, did they get a shock when this grandmother, not that I am a grandmother, but pretend grandmother, turned up. So I turned 69 in August this year, and I can tell you that if you have the idea that you need to be released from the cage that you've created for yourself, then you need to step up and step out and start traveling. I shall come back next week with more information, more ideas for you, because my mission is to show Australian women how they can travel overseas, not just for a holiday for 1 week or 2 weeks. It could be for a month, 2 months, 3 months. As I've said, I'm in my 9th month, and do that on a pension. I have the absolute proof that it's doable, and I can show you how it's doable. Please subscribe to my live streams so you get notified when I do them again. Go ahead and like Over 60 Still Fabulous, my page on Facebook. We Build Your Chatbot, and I also have Go Live with Victoria. And thank you again for being with me. It's wonderful to stay in contact like this and to share your message with the world. I'm well, I'm happy, and yes, I'm still living the dream. Bye.